My name is Endevar, and this is All the Mods 10 to the Sky. And this is a very exciting episode for me because I finally get to set up my proper AE2 system rather than the janky thing that we've got in the starter house over there. So you can see in here I've been planning a few things out and I've got all these cables running everywhere, and I will explain this. But if we just have a look at what we did last time, we've got the industrial foregoing room in here. We've got the chickens getting slaughtered over here, producing pink slime and the liquid meat. And then we've also got this thing over here, which I still haven't automated with the block placers. But the reason I haven't done that is because I don't have access to AE2 down here. So that's why I'm doing this today, because it's going to make everything else so much easier. And I can come back to doing little jobs like this without too much trouble. So let's have a look at what we're doing. So firstly, we've got this big cable in the middle of here. And I've had this here for absolutely ages, but not done anything with it. So the plan with this is I'm going to put my main controller around this thing, and then we're going to use P2P networks to transfer everything around the base. So I'm mainly using sub networks at the minute to minimize on the controllers, but now we're going to the other end of the scale and just basically having an absolute ton of channels. Let's just get started and show you what I'm talking about. We're going to have a ring of 16 controllers. We're not going to do like the big cube ones like a lot of people do. I don't know how high I want this actually. Let's do it a little bit lower. So do this here, I think. Yeah, do it like that. So this is going to be a 5 wide square. And the great thing about this is this uses 16 controllers, meaning if I put a P2P tunnel on the top and the bottom of each of these controller blocks, I'm going to get 32 P2P connections, which just works out really well because we can transfer 32 channels along the dense cables. So if we put all these around here, that is the 16. And now we need a way of transferring those P2P channels. So what I'm going to do is put another controller in the middle, and that'll be a separate network. So it's the only sub network we're going to have, but that'll be responsible for transferring all of the channels around the base. So I was going to have a cable going up here as well, but I've decided I'm going to get rid of that. So what we're going to do on top of that controller is have wireless, and that's going to send the power to it eventually. But for the minute, I think I'm just going to put a gate on top of there. So we just need to grab another controller. Now I'm hoping I can steal one from somewhere, but it may mean that everything in here breaks. So I don't want to get rid of this just yet, because I'm probably going to need it to craft a few things to make the new system. So I don't need this, so I can get rid of this. Now, is there anything else I can sacrifice? Maybe I might do some manual smelting, so I'll get rid of that. Anything else? So how many channels are we using there? Oh no, because we are using 8 on this side, are we? So maybe I can't steal a controller. Let's stop being cheap. Let's get another controller. I'm sure it'll come in handy somewhere else on another sub network, so let's just grab that. I should have left that interface there, shouldn't I, and just take it. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it, because I'm not taking the controller away now, so let's just stick those in there. Stick that back, you never know. Okay, so now we have the other controller. What we'll also need is a ton of P2P tunnels. So it's the ME ones we want, and I'm going to need at least 32 of them to go on the controller, but obviously we need the other end of the P2P tunnels as well. So crafting a stack of these is about right. So we'll have that. And they're also going to need an ender gate as well, so we can power this new thing. So let's just go get this bit set up. On top of this, we're going to have that there. So if we just put that on top of there, I can power that one. Now we can see the rest of it isn't powered because it's not linked yet. So first thing we need to do is put all these P2P tunnels on here. And if you've not used P2P tunnels before, I will try and explain how they work, but it is quite a complicated thing to get your head around at first. It took me absolutely ages to understand it, but then once I saw this concept of having like a separate controller to transfer the channels, it just made more sense to me. I don't know if that's how my brain works, but there we go. So these are not connected to this controller. What we're going to do is connect them to this controller, and this one will be the one that is technically everything's connected to. It's just being routed for this one. So actually, I'm going to need... Yeah, I'm going to need to take that off there, alright. Let's have that. I will have one smart cable going up there, and I'm going to put this on the side of here for now. Okay, so with this, we just need to take our normal fluids cable, because we can't connect the dense cable up to these. So we need to do this in groups of 8, and as a 16, that works out quite nicely. So we've got 5 there, and then 6, 7, 8. On the end of that, we need to put a cable anchor, and another one there, and that means we can do these in another group of 8. So then if we just connect this group into there and this group into there, you can see we're now using the full 8 channels on these cables, and that is powered all these P2P tunnels. But this still isn't active, and that's because we need to power that separately. So we can do that in a minute with a quartz fiber, but for now, we're just going to do the same thing on the bottom. So I like to put the cable anchors in the same area so I know what I'm doing. So I'll have that there, that one like that, and then go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another cable anchor, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then same thing again. I can get in here. Probably should have done this higher, but never mind. We'll just put this on there like that. So now all of those P2P tunnels on this end are done. Right, so let's go get some quartz fiber, and then we can power the main controller as well. Okay, so there's not always a really pretty way of doing this, but if we just go like that, and then we'll go 1, 2, that is now taking the power from this network, but it's not transferring the channels. So if we hadn't have put the quartz fiber there, these would have both gone red because you can't have two controllers on the same network. These are two separate networks. So now all of these cables should be online as well. But as you can see, there's no channels because we don't have any devices connected to this. So if we have a look, what we can do is click on the controllers and it'll tell us what devices we've got on each network. So this one says we have 32 P2P tunnels and 1 quartz fiber and just the 1 controller. So that's right. And if we look at this one, we have 1 quartz fiber and just 2 cables, and that's the one that's transferring the power. And then we have the 16 controllers. So yeah, nothing going on this big network at the minute. So now really we can actually start transferring everything across. So what I want to do is put some network drives down here, and I have 62 here. What we're going to do is put a P2P tunnel down here. So where should we do that? I don't know if I can do it this way around. Can I do it like that? Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. So we'll put that there, and that is a P2P tunnel. And what that is going to do is provide 32 channels using only 1 channel on this network into here. So what the P2P tunnels basically do is compress all of the channels. So we have 32 on each face. It'll take those 32 channels, compress them into 1, and then it can send them down this cable. And then at the other end, it'll decompress them, and we'll have 32 channels in use with only 1 on there. So we're not there yet because we need to tell these P2P tunnels which ones they need to connect to. So we need another little tool called a memory card. I really should get some wireless set up, shouldn't I? You know what? I might actually do that now and set that up on here temporarily because it coming back and forth is just gonna be so annoying. So let's have a look at the this one, isn't it? Wireless access point. So we should be able to do all this pretty easily. So let's have that and the wireless access point, and then we also need to craft a wireless crafting terminal. Let's have you, and then let's have that. Right, so now if we put this down here, that should wirelessly charge, and then we just need to link it to this thing, which we need to connect to the network as well. So let's just stick this on here somewhere. You go there. Now we're going to put that in there, and then that is now linked. So we should be able to now access everything wirelessly, but this isn't going to work very well because I've come over here, it's going to say out of range. So what we're going to need just for now is some booster cards, these things. So can we get a stack of those? And if I put that into here, and now it probably use a lot of power, but I can go 528 meters, so that should be fairly good. If I come right over here, this is like the furthest I can get away from my base, and now I can see everything. Right, that's much better. So now I can just stand over here and craft everything I need. Let's get a memory card, and with this, all we need to do, so we'll do it logically so it indicates where it's going. So what I'm going to do is do it on this one because that's the one that's over this side. It doesn't matter, I could do it on any of them, but let's just shift right click on there, and that'll copy the settings from that one. And if we paste that over here, this is now online, and we have 32 channels available on here, but we're only using 1 on there. So now if we put these drives down, I think what I want to do, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think if I go up 8, that'll look really good work, and I can put some of these dense energy cells in between as well. So stick that there. So now if we have a look at this, yeah, we can see we have 4 ME drives and a dense energy cell installed. So that's great. So that will hold quite a lot of power in there as well, but we're going to put loads of these in. So yeah, this should work pretty well, shouldn't it? So this is going to be 32 drives. I don't think I need anything else on this channel. When I say channel, I mean this P2P channel. So yeah, I don't know why I crafted 64 of those because I didn't actually need 32. But anyway, right, so we now should have 32 of those on there. Great stuff. Okay, so next step, I think I want to move my crafting across. So what we've got down here, we've got another cable that runs into there, and I'm going to do exactly the same and put a P2P tunnel on the end of here. So we've got like that, that'll work. And then it's the same thing over here. So what I'm going to do for now is put my crafting storage over here, and then over here is where all the pattern providers and the assemblers are going to go. So we are going to replace this with the big multi-block structures from ExtendedAE eventually, but don't have those at the minute, and I probably won't get those done today. So instead of that, we're just going to put the things we already have. So let's get these copied across again. So let's do the same thing. Let's do this one here and paste that one there. And then at the other side, this is a little bit different because we're going to have a few going down this, but let's just do it anyway. Or should I do this one? Yeah, let's do that there. Definitely not going to remember this, but anyway. So that's that one there. And then while we're at it, we might as well do the rest of the P2P tunnels that we need for now. So we'll put this one on there. And let's do, let's do the second one, and they'll stick that one there. So if I've got any blue cables, we can now connect this up. Although I do like to put a dense cable coming out of here, just to remind me that I get 32 channels out of that. This will only transfer 8. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So let's craft up one of those. Put that there. Okay, so nothing's in use at the minute, but everything should be all connected now. So because I've got everything in A2 anyway, everything is already on disks. So I probably could just bring the disks across and shove them into these drives, and we should be good to go. The only thing that I need to do separate is the mob farm. So that's this one here. So that's nice and easy. I can just link into that. And then we have all the other stuff that is across in the base. So we have the sieving storage. We have a couple of storage buses around here, but this is probably going to move. And then we have the main storage at the minute, and this is what I'm going to get rid of. So now I've done this, do we dare just move everything? Let's just stick a few things away, because I'm just thinking all these patterns are going to spill out now, are they? So let's just all the acceleration cards as well. Okay, right, can we drag these across? Let's do it. So I already have a little barrel down here that's got all my other patterns in, so I can just stick these into here. Right, so that's all my patterns done. So now let's get rid of that, and I'm going to replace all these this glowstone as well. And this is really over the top as well, because once we get the multi-block structure in from ExtendedAE, this is only going to use one channel, but I'm probably going to use quite a few for the minute. So let's just stick this down here. Let's go in the middle. And the great thing about these things as well is that they do connect to the dense cable, which a lot of things don't. So I'm going to do it the way I've always done it. It's not the way that's advised to do it, because you're only supposed to put these things in groups of 8. But I've always done it so it's 8 long, so you get 32 on each cable. But because these can carry 32 channels, that's always works out for me, so that's what I'm going with. So how I like to do it is just like this, and then we can put these on here, and then same again on top, and then we can put those there as well. And so that's 2 high, and then we can just repeat this up so that goes 8 high, and that'll give us plenty of storage for now. So we can bang all those patterns back in there, but I'll do that in a second because that's a bit of a boring job. And so the next thing we need to move is the crafting storage, isn't it? So let's go grab that. I don't have a lot of it at the minute, thankfully, and that is intentional because I knew I'd have to move it. And it's the same thing at this side. Once I get this done, I'm only going to be using one channel, but at the minute I'm probably going to be using a few. So just put, let's get a few of the normal ones. Just gonna do this out a little bit. It's not going to look pretty for now, but this is again going to go once I get the multi-block structure done. Right, so from there, let's just stick that on there, and then just like that. So we'll do a few of these because that is a 4 in 1, but it's nice to have a few of them so you can do things at the same time. So let's have a look in here. I've got a pattern providers. Right, that says device offline. What's going on there? Oh, it says unlinked. What's happening with that? So let's try that again. Right, so that's on now. So let's just have a look. Yeah, so we have our crafting storage in there. We have the pattern providers. So I think that is pretty much the basic setup. So I think if I just rip everything out now, we should be good to just transfer everything across, including all of the disks. So what we got? Yeah, don't need any of this now. If we take that, I want to keep that as it is because I'm going to need to link to this. So let's just do that, and that. And that means my wireless has gone now, doesn't it? So I'm going to need to do that again over at the other one. And it's also, we've got the power down here as well. So I need to take that with me and do something with that. Okay, that's a lot of smashing. So let's go get this set up. Right, so for the moment, until I decide where I'm going to put everything, I'm just going to run a cable off the side of here. So remember, this is the main network at the moment. So we can just run a cable off the side of this, and we can put all of our terminals on here. I'll be able to see everything that's in this network, but there isn't anything. So that's the next job, to move everything across. So pattern encoding, pattern access, and you can see our 8 molecular assemblies in there, so that's good. Stick the wireless back on somewhere. Let's just put you there, and those back in there. Right, so I need to link that again. Okay, right, so put my blank patterns in there. So now I think we can bring the disks across for everything we've got in here. Let's do the big ones first. So I also need to set up some priorities on here as well. So firstly, let's put the infinity ones in here. So that's the only infinity ones I've got eliminated. So we're going to set this up to higher priority. So anything that's basically dead or cobble, we don't want it clogging up the other drawers when we've got infinite here. So we just want it to go into here and get eaten by these. Next one, put the fluid storage in there. And because these are partitioned, we want these to be a fairly high priority as well. Right, that's partitioned. I don't think that one is it? No. So we'll put that in a low priority one. I'll set that down a bit. Okay, so now I should be able to dump my inventory into here. Back out, or maybe that was partitioned as well, that one. Unless it's just full. Yeah, it's full, isn't it? Alright, let's go get some more discs, and then we should be able to put some stuff away. Okay, so I've got those in there, so now can I put something away? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? There we go, nice. Right, so I won't make you watch me do all this. I'll just get the rest of these transferred over, and then we can work on getting the rest of the stuff imported into here without using the ender tank. Right, so I've got everything from my main storage over here now. So if I have a look in here, this is everything we had there, and those are all in those cells up there. One more thing we need to do is basically connect up to this cable here. So I think what I want to do is if we put, what's this? This is dense. So let's put a normal smart cable on there, and we'll have another P2P tunnel here. And then we're going to do another one. And then we just need to, got memory card, I'll link that up. So we'll go this one again. You can go there. So obviously that will connect to all of this. So I was going to do an interface and have this as a sub network, but I don't think I need to do that away. So I don't know what's going to happen if I connect this, but where it says offline. I said, what do you mean unlinked? I've done it. Try again. And you. Okay, so that's using 2 channels. That's using 3 channels apparently. So that sounds about right. If there's an interface in there, which I think there is, and then we've got an interface up here as well, we might actually be pretty much there. That includes the mod farm stuff, which is good, and we've got the quartz as well. So that's all the sieving stuff. So I think that's it. It's all the other, yeah, the moss is in there. Ice. I think that's it. So we're done. That was nice and easy, wasn't it? So I will set this up better eventually. I don't need this big ugly cable going up there, and I'll probably do this wirelessly or even actually change how the mob farm storage works. But I think for now, that is everything that we had access to before. So I just want to check where this cable goes. So it is just a straight line. So we've connected straight into that. One of them goes up to the mob farm where we have an interface, so that's only using 1 channel. And then this one comes along here, and where's it go? That just goes straight up, doesn't it? So there's a big ugly cable inside of here, and it just goes up here, and it doesn't go anywhere else from there, I don't think. I should double check. Yeah, so that's coming straight up from underground, isn't it? That's going up into here, and then it splits off in 2 directions. So that one goes to where the storage was before. I've ripped all that out, and then this one comes along this way, and that goes into the sieving storage, but also into the drawers I've got up here. Although I think, no, that is just the sieving storage, isn't it? Yeah, because those connect. So we have a draw controller there, and that connects to all the ones I've got there. That's back online. Oh, I didn't check that as well. If I got the glass in there. Only a bit. Yeah, so these are connected, so we need to do something here. That's not online. Why is that? All right, because I took the interface off here. So if I just put that cable there, does that mean I now have access to all this? So yeah, we've got a ton of gravel there. What else we got in here? Smooth stone. So 2000. Yeah, that's, I think that's it. I think we've got everything connected now. That was fun, wasn't it? Right, now that's done, we can actually make some progress. But before we do that, we should probably look at some of the stuff we got done in between episodes. So as you can see here, I've switched over all the sand to produce gravel instead, and that's because I want to get some more of the infinity cells going. So if we have a look in our wireless storage, we have, for the sand, I already have one of the 6 times, and this is the one that you need to craft the infinity sand cell. But as we saw at the end of the last episode, we also need to craft an infinity gravel cell first. And if I want infinite gravel and sand, that means I need to do 2 of these, meaning I need to get 2 6x gravel blocks. Now, I'm not actually that far off now. In fact, I'm probably pretty much there. So for the 5 times, I've already got 14 of those, which is great. So I can do one of those, and that means I can craft one of these. So I just need to do another cobblestone cell as well. So a few little bits to do. But with all of that 2 times there, I can definitely get that crafted up. And I could probably stop all of this gravel production now because it's just a bit mad. So I'm just going to do this and hopefully we can get it all done. So that's the 3 times. What was that? That was 6 there, wasn't it? Turn that into 4. I think we should have enough here. That's the 5. So yeah, definitely got enough there. So I think we need to stop all this. I mean, it's not a problem if I do produce loads, but I also did this as well. I did have a cobblestone generator down here, but what I've done here is pipe out cobblestone into here. And I also discovered something else, which I wish I'd known sooner, but I don't have to put single blocks of cobble in here. What I've got pumping into here is the 2 times. So that's crushing 2 times cobble into 2 times gravel, and then that crushes 2 times gravel into 2 times sand. So, and that's doing that on all those machines, so that's made this go a lot faster, which is why I have an absolute ton of gravel. So all of this will probably get ripped out, and as I don't need to generate this anymore because I'll have the infinity cells, but all of this will just set up an automated process for cooking up stone and smooth stone, and same for the glass as well. So I suppose we could go get those crafted now, because I think that's pretty much all I did. And then we had this thing in here, so I've been stocking up on the processors again because I'm going to need these for another infinity cell, but yeah, this is nowhere near enough. But what we're going to do now is work on a process for generating these much faster. So if we get back into our main room over here, what we're going to do now is get into ExtendedAE. So you know what, I'm going to put some glass down here because that was always the plan, and it's annoying me that I haven't done it yet. So what we got? I've got anything fancy? Let's just go with standard glass for now. We can come up with something a bit better later on, but I keep falling in it and standing to the side, so let's just do that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And then once we get all these in use, we'll get all the channels lit up. That'll look really good. So anyway, what we want to do is get into both ExtendedAE and AdvancedAE. So that means the reaction chamber, the circuit slicer, and the crystal assembler. So for the circuit slicer, we need to do something else first before we can actually craft this, and that is to make the crystal assembler, and then we need to put all these things in it, and it will make the circuit slicer. So the crystal assembler is a little bit simpler. This is just a normal craft, but there is one thing that we can't craft, and that is the extended machine frame. Because for this, we need entro infused ingot. And for this, we put this in the reaction chamber. We can do it in water like we do with Fluix, but this is where the reaction chamber comes in, because this is such a cool thing. We can use this to make not only the intro, but we can use it for Fluix as well. Anything that you throw into water or lava, like you do with the sky steel that we've got here. So we're definitely going to be crafting this thing, and I think this should be pretty straightforward. So we might as well do this one first and get this up and running. So reaction chamber, let's have that. And I also want a pattern provider for this. And we can get a few patterns set up and start using this straight away, because this is going to be very valuable. So let's grab that. We'll get some acceleration cards as well. And then we also want to do patterns for this. So let's go with this one. We can't do this yet because we need to do another way of doing intro does first. But this is the way we're going to produce most of it. Also do the one for Fluix. Just like that. And was there anything else I want straight away? Oh yeah, we'll do the sky steel as well. That's always handy, so let's have that. And I don't know where I'm going to put these, but I've got this thing over here, haven't I? And I'm probably going to use all 32 channels of that. So let's do another one. Should we go over this way? Right, so I've got this cable running down here. So let's get another P2P for the end of that. So let's put you there, and I have my memory card. So let's grab this one, and we'll do it on this bottom corner. So let's copy that and put that one on there. So is that online? Right, so I've got all 32 channels coming out there, and then we want this in the middle of here. So for now, let's just go up here. I'll have that pattern provider there. We can put these 3 patterns into here, and I think what I want to do with these is have a few of them around it. So let's just go like that for now. Yeah, so that in those patterns, it does have the liquid in it as well, so it will push that into it. So if we try and do the intro crystal, it should say that it can do it apart from the intro dust. So let's just do that. We'll do one. So it's going to push the water, the Fluix crystal, but it doesn't have the intro dust. So that's good. We just need to get that done first. For the Fluix, let's try this. Let's get 100 of those. That's going to do that. So that is in there now, doing its thing. We've put the acceleration cards in as well, take those out. And we also need to make sure this pushes back, don't we? So that goes into there. So there we go, we already have. Right, that was really quick, wasn't it? Let's do 1,000. See how quickly it does it. That is crazy, isn't it? And what was the other thing? Skystone, let's try that as well. Let's get 1,000 of those. Oh, lava. Right, I haven't got the infinite lava set up yet, so we'll need to get that done as well. But anyway, that's one of the things done. So keeping in mind that we're going to have 4 around there, let's move this out a little bit. And then we can have, so there's 1 there. The next machine's going to be here. So we'll put that there. Bring this one up and put that on there. And then the other thing that we wanted to craft was the crystal assembler, wasn't it? But we need the intro for that. So let's have a look at the other way of getting intro. So I don't know why I've come over here. I can do all this wirelessly. It's just habit now. So what we want is intro dust. And to do this, we need to put intro crystals into a crusher or into an inscriber. I'm going to use a crusher, but let's just have a look at the intro crystals. So with this, we can do it in water. We can do it in a reaction chamber, which is how we're going to do it eventually. But we can also grow it like we do with status quartz. But there is a problem with these blocks because they do degrade very quickly. And there is a way of charging them back up. And I did try and do that in my All the Mods 10 series. But it was very hit and miss and I kept losing them. So now that we've got this is definitely the better way to do it. But we do have to do it the annoying way to get the starter stuff. So let's get a block of fluix like that. And then we also need to craft an intro seed. This thing here. And it's pretty simple. Got everything we need for that. So let's grab that. And if we put this, let's put it 1 block up. Like that. And if we just click the intro seed onto it, it turns into a budding fully entroids fluix. Now, as this grows, it's going to be... Nah, I can't tweak that. So do we have an accelerator in here we can use? And then we'll just stick the resonance generator on the back of it. So we'll go like that. Right, so there we go. That is growing now, but as you can see, it says mostly entroids now. So we are losing a little bit from that. And before long, it is going to be completely gone. And then we're going to need to start again with another block of fluix. So we can't break these at this level. We need to make sure it's a cluster, just like you do with the other ones. So let's get that. What have I got? So I've got 4 there. But it would be nice if I could get to a stack of these. Or a stack of the dust anyway. But it is 1 to 1, isn't it? Yeah, so maybe we can get up to a half stack, and then we can start doubling it with the reaction chamber. So let's get you... Yeah, so that's hardly entroids now. So that has now turned into a status quartz block, meaning it's now completely useless and it won't grow. So we just need to brick it and do that again. So we only got 15 there. So hopefully with another 1 I can get up to a half stack. So I'll get that done, and then we can start producing these with the reaction chamber. Okay, so I got that done, and I now have 44 intro crystals, and we did that using 3 of the intro seeds, so I do have 1 left if I ever run out and need to get some more manually, but hopefully that will happen. Right, so what I've also done as well is run another cable, and this is where we're going to put the 4 of whatever other machine we'll put there next. I think it's the crystal assembler, isn't it? Yep, I think that's going to be the next one, and then we're going to do the circuit slicer, which uses that, yeah. So I'll need another one. I'll probably put that over here somewhere, maybe have it just like in a square like we've got over there. But I've also put another pattern provider over here as well, and we have an ultimate crushing factory on top of there. So this is what we're going to use to get the intro dust. So let's just make sure that goes back into there. So if we have a look in here, that should be in there somewhere, yeah. So we just need to set up a pattern for this, and then that can just be sent directly to here after it's been made in there. So we should be about there now. So I've also put another layer on top of here, and I've taken most of the patterns out of here and put them into this thing. So we've got all our crafting back as it was, and even slightly better. So we have a little bit of space for some more patterns, but we'll get some more in there eventually as well. Let's do that. And then do we already have the intro one in there as well? We do. So if we just put this one into the crushing factory and put all those into there, if we now say we want to get some intro, and we'll do 32 of those because I think that's the minimum. So actually if we do 1, it'll do the minimum, which I think is 32. Oh no, it needs to do that first, doesn't it? Right, so I've been having a little bit of a mess around, and apparently the trick to this is to use an ME request. It was something I was going to craft soon anyway, because they're a great block for keeping stocks of things, and this is what we need to do this like recursive crafting, which is basically what it is. So it's a fairly simple thing, not too pricey, and we've got everything we need. So let's just grab one of these, and I'm going to put that there. Right, so what I want to do for this, let's get the intro. And also the intro crystals as well. don't have many of those, but hopefully this will be able to do this. Although I may need to do a bit manually first. So let's just do some of the crystals manually first. Let's get a stack of those. Nope, not 1064, just 64. Thank you. Let's do that. Right, that was really quick, wasn't it? Okay, so what we want to do with this is if we put intro dust in there and intro crystal in there, we can say how many we want to stock of these things. So, no, not you. Well, intro dust. I suppose we'll need to keep half a stack. Although I want to keep a few of them, die. Because as long as we've got the crystals, we can make these. So let's go for 64 of that. And then on this side, it says how many it will try and do at the same time. So we'll just do 64 for that one. Oh, no, right. 64 and 64. And if we click submit changes, that'll keep like that. And that will always try and keep 64 in there. So is that working already? So if I take these out, will it try and do it? Yeah, that was doing it there. So I didn't do that fast enough. So let's just have a look at this. So let's just take those out of there. And it's not going to try and do it because I don't have enough. Yeah, so I don't have enough of these. So that's why it's not doing that. So if I put these back in and then say to this that we want these as well. So I don't know how many of these we're going to do. Let's do 128. And we'll do that 64 as well. I don't know how well that's going to work, but let's try it. So what's going on there? Stick you in there. So that now has everything it needs. So shall we just try and do this up a bit? And keep more of the crystals. Do that. So that's doing things every now and then. But it does it so fast we can barely see in here. And then when those are finished and these have run down, it'll stock those back up to 64 again. So you can see that's dropped down to 8. But then you get another 64 of those. So it might be worth upping that as well so we can get a few more of these. But that's working pretty well. Okay, the other thing we want to do I have the pattern for this yet? Ender infused ingot. This is the other one that I want. So we've got the intro dust, gold lapis, and water. So we can set up a pattern for that, can't we? So let's do that. So have that, and we'll put that into the reaction chamber as well. And now if we get some of the intro infused ingots, let's do a stack of these. And that's going to use half a stack of the dust, and then that should get stocked straight away. So that's 40. We've got those, so that should stock up again now. There we go. Right, you know what? I think I'm going to set that a little bit higher. So go in here, do that to 128, but it's still going to do that every time. So change that, and now if we look at intro, that should stock up to 128. Right, that's good. I like that. So next thing we want to do is craft the crystal assembler. So let's get one of the extended machine frames, and then we can use that to craft this thing. So skystone tank. Oh, what's that? For some reason, I have compressed skystone on me, but that's all right. Skystone tank, and finally a crystal assembler. So let's get that. And do I have my acceleration cards? So let's take this. And again, same thing with this. We're going to have 4 of them going around one of these. But let's just put that in there. Acceleration cards in there. And then we can put the patterns into here. So I want to make sure that this will be auto exported. And with some of them as well. The reaction chamber doesn't do this, but you need to make sure that it's actually outputting. Because on this one, if we just look in here as well, open output config, it says each side is disabled. So we just need to click on that and make sure it's enabled. So for some reason, these default to all disabled and these default to all enabled. So just be aware of that. So now if we look at the crystal assembler and things we can do with this, these are what we want to do. The processes, we won't need to get these going up way faster. But the thing I want to do first is the circuit slicer. So this is a bit of a pain, isn't it? So you know what? I'm going to do a pattern for that. So I don't know if I've got all these. But let's try it, because the great thing about this is that you don't need to put the presses in them. So let's put that, where are we? Crystal assembler, put you in there. And if we get a circuit slicer, it'll tell us if we've got everything. And of course we don't. So let's just do the things that we don't have. Let's do the extended machine frame. One of you. Stone cutter. And these are just crafts out there. You can stick these in here. So now it's just the presses, isn't it? So I can just duplicate these. I get some iron blocks and go duplicate those. So it's calculation, engineering, and concurrent. So we'll go in there. I'll have a couple of those because I can do a few circuit slices. And we might as well do those while we're here. And do I have the concurrent press on me? Oh, actually, no, I haven't done one of these yet. That's why I haven't got it. Right, let's go do that. So I need a silicon press, 4 intro crystals, and 3 yards of ender. So let's take those 3U and the silicon press, wasn't it? So let's just come over here and put U, and U into there. And that's concurrent press done. So now we stick all these presses in here. We should be able to do the circuit slicer. Yes, there we go. Right, this is going to be very handy, but I'm going to need to set up another pattern provider. Right, so I think we'll go this way. I'll get another one of these down, and then I'm going to do another 3 circuit slicers, because to get the amount of processors I need to be able to do the other infinity cells, one of them just isn't going to cut it. So I'll get all that done, and then we can get that set up. Right, so I've got all that set up now, so I'm just going through here and creating the patterns for everything that we're going to need in the circuit slicer. It's basically just all of the printed circuits, but we use gold blocks for these, and we get 9 out of it. Apart from the Certus, I think you get 4 out of that, and that's just because it's only 4 Certus crystals to make the blocks. Yeah, so there's 4 there. And then there is a new one as well that we can use, which is the printed concurrent circuit, and that is with Entro blocks. So I'm going to need to set up a pattern for that as well. So let's get the engineering one. I'll skip the quantum circuit for now. What else? Yeah, the silicon, definitely need that. We need to do the blocks of silicon as well. So I might as well just craft up all these silicon into blocks as well. Going to need a ton more, and I'm going to need to set up a pattern for this as well. But let's just get the basics set up first. So with the circuit slicer, let's put all these into here. And we are going to probably need better pattern providers as well fairly soon. For the crystal assembler, we now need to do the patterns to actually do the processes from the circuits. So in here, first one is logic, and then we'll put that into the crystal assembler. So now we should be able to make logic circuits pretty quickly. So I don't have a ton of resources because I need to get the silicon, but can we do that? Yeah, so silicon block. Oh, it might actually be the wrong one in there as well. So let's have that. You in there. Try that again. So let's try these logic processors again. Yeah, I can do 1,000. Right, so 1,000 of these. Let's see how quickly this does it. So it's going to do the logic circuits first. And that is flying through there, isn't it? I don't know what this means. I don't think that's going to be right. Oh, actually, I might not have put this on auto return. So let's just said about that as well, haven't I? Right, so I need to put back into there. Go in there. So I think this will do it actually really fast. I just didn't set it up right. Right, so that is doing logic circuits in there, and that is going really fast. And these are obviously going to all be full because these have got 4 machines, and these are actually waiting now because this thing isn't going fast enough, even though I've got logic circuits in there. So we definitely need to get another 3 of these around here as well, because this is definitely the bottleneck, slowing that down. So let's just have a look anyway, see how it's doing. Right, have I not put that to... Right, something's gone a bit wrong there, isn't it? So I'm going to cancel that and try that again. Right, so it's doing another 1,000, see if that works. That seems to be working alright, doesn't it? Let's hope this one hasn't got stuck again. Although it does seem to be getting stuck, doesn't it, in there for some reason. I got these the wrong way around, because all those are facing the thing, aren't they? Yeah, you know what? I think that one is facing the wrong way. That's probably what it is. So let's do that. Put you in there. I'll stick those in there again. No. Right. That was being awkward, but I think it's working now. Right, that's on the final thing. So, let's try that just one more time, because that was silly. So, 1,000 again. No, I don't have no silicon now. Right, so what we could also do then, if we put another pattern provider over here, like that, and I have a vibrating furnace over here, and I've already got a pattern provider there, and the one in for silicon as well. So let's just grab that, and then we'll put these 2 patterns in here. We should now be able to make silicon, but just need to power this, and then we need to make sure that it will auto output to the bottom. That needs to be on input output, doesn't it? Turn the rest of these off. Let's just get some silicon. Right, that was pretty quick. So let's just do another crafting pattern for the silicon blocks, and then we should have everything we need. So just like that, and if we put that into there. Let's just try doing the block of silicon first. So let's do 1,000 of those. So it's going to do 8,900 and craft it into the blocks. So that'll be going crazy. That's just not piping into there fast enough, is it? So maybe these things, this needs upgrading. Yeah, that's going to take a while. So I'll leave that to do its thing. And while it's doing that, I'll craft 3 more of the crystal assemblers. And then we can see how quickly this does the processes. And much time later, I've got that done, and I've also moved a few other things around. So we have now 4 crystal assemblers, and I've also done another 3 reaction chambers, so I've got 4 of those. We already had the 4 circuit slicers, and I've also split out the crushing factory and the furnace into their own pattern providers, and I've done those in sets as well. So I've just done 3 for this one, just basically because that's all I had. And then with this has been a bit of a challenge. Doing the smelting has been a bit of a pain. When I had these on here, the items just weren't coming in fast enough, and I'm auto stocking silicon, so getting loads of items piped into here, but they only come in like dribs and drabs, and it takes an absolute age. So I read somewhere if you put a barrel or a chest on top, the items will just stock that up really quickly, and then if we take the items out of the furnace and pump them back in, that goes a lot quicker. But it don't work. It's just not filling up fast enough. So I may need to have a rethink on how I do all the auto smelting. If anyone has any tips on how to do this, I would really appreciate it, because it's quite honestly doing my head in now. But anyway, let's have a look at the processors, because I have tested this out a little bit and it's absolute madness. So if we have a look at the processors I've got 38,000 logic processors, and this didn't take long at all. 12,000 of the calculation processors. So I do actually have enough processors to do 2 of the 256M storage components now. The problem is I'm struggling for other resources. So if we just have a look at this, I can do 1 of these no problem. But if I go to do 2, I don't have enough Certus quartz. And the reason for this is, to craft these things, the 1K ME storage components, I need 39,000 of these, but these take 4 Certus quartz crystal each. So I think I'm going to have to bump up the production of this, because I'm just sieving, I think it's sand for this at the minute. So we may need to bump that up or come up with another way of getting Certus quartz. So I think what we'll do for now is just get 1 of these, because I really want to get another infinity cell in this episode. So I know we're definitely pushed for time now. So if you are still watching the video at this point, I do really appreciate it. But anyway, let's get this going, and we'll have 1 of those crafting. So this is probably going to take a while, because it's got a lot of things to do. But while that's doing that, I have some import buses somewhere. And the whole point of doing all of this AE2 stuff over here was to get this going, wasn't it? So let's come into here, and I've put some tanks in because the ender tank was just backed up and nothing was happening. So I know this still isn't doing anything, but we can put these on here and get this all connected up. So let's get the blue cables. And I still haven't set this up yet either, but I've had another idea on how I'm going to do it. So we'll get into do with that next time. But for now, let's just get the fluids imported at least, and then that's 1 ticked off the list, isn't it? So let's just do that and that. Now, I don't think it's going to do anything until I put the fluid in there. And then we'll also do pink slimes all, just like that. Now, if we get some acceleration cards, I have added a few more patterns as well. So let's grab that, stick you in there. Alright, that is empty. So yeah, that is taking everything out of there. So we can actually turn this spawner back on now, because I've had it turned off because there wasn't any point. That is getting emptied out of there. So we just do the same thing over here in this one. I can go underneath with this one as well, can't we? So let's go like that. And then we'll put the latex in there. Acceleration cards as well. And I can decorate this and put all the sea lanterns in later on, but let's just get this functional for now. So we are using 1. Why are we using 1? Soft, oh, because I've put the cable in the wrong place. So let's do that. Right, so that's draining that latex out of there. Yeah, 582 buckets. Let's have a look at industrial flow going. We've got 2,000 buckets pink slime. A little bit of liquid meat, which I'm not interested in. But having this imported directly, definitely a big improvement. So the other thing I've done is I've added the vibrant glass into here rather than normal glass, and this emits light as well. So I think this is going to be a really cool look once we get some better blocks around here anyway. I added another 2 crafting storage over here just so we have the ability to do 4 things at the same time, and they do get used very often because we have the auto stocking of the intro dust, but I've also added in silicon blocks and printed silicon as well, just so when we come to do the crafting and the processes, we have a little bit already stocked up. So how's this thing doing? Apparently another 7 minutes. And that's not even halfway there yet, is it? So we'll leave this to do its thing. And then I think what I'm going to do with that one is craft the infinity lava cell. I do have a lot of the 6 times blocks now. I've got enough to do the coal deep slate, one to do the sand, and for that I need gravel, so I can do 2 gravel with that. And a few other things I've got 4 or 5 times as well, so we're getting there with quite a few of them, but the Certus quartz is definitely the bottleneck now. We're in a much better position for the processors now, so I'm very happy about that. But Certus quartz, that needs fixing. So maybe we'll do geos next time and we'll get that going somewhere, and then we can add in the Certus quartz into there as well. But anyway, let's get this done. Okay, so there it is. That is now done. And I was just getting on with a few other things, but then I saw the notification come up, so I had to come do this. So let's get our infinite lava cell. This one here. Look at that. Got it all, so let's get that crafted. And we can stick that in here with all our other infinity cells. Nice. So if we have a look back in the system, we now have infinite lava. So I don't have any empty buckets. That's a problem. Let's just grab a ton of buckets because that's annoying if I can't do that. Alright, so now I can just pick up that and I'll put it in as lava, as a bucket of lava, or I can just empty this all out into here like this. Nice. Oh, that feels so good to get that done. And next time, we definitely want to get a few more of those. Now we have a few of these 6 times blocks, we definitely want to get that done. So next time we'll get on with more of the infinity cells, and that probably means that we're going to need to get into geos, isn't it? And it's something that I should have done a while ago, but, you know, stuff to do. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.